Hello, Cosmic Witches. Welcome back to another episode of the Divine Gossip Girls. If you've noticed, this is a fairly short episode, and that's just because we wanted to announce what our plans are for June. It's going to be a little bit different than the podcast you've been used to over the past 6 months. It's going to be some archive episodes from our personal podcasts. And that is because we are kind of all over the place in the world. And Carly just got back from traveling, and we just wanted to take this month to recoup. So we have set the energy and we have set the theme for the month of June as Manifesting June. Each episode is going to be one from Sophie's podcast, one from mine, and then one from Carly's, all about manifestation, stepping into receiving and stepping into a higher vibration to really see you through June in a very high vibe way. So I thought what we would do is, I think all of us are in a little bit of uncertain times, maybe some lower energy. We're having some struggles, we're having some stress, some overwhelm. So I thought I will go first. We'll all chat about the energy that we are in right now. And we are all going to be manifesting over the next few months. And what I'm going to get us to do to end off the episode is separately on our own times do 5-minute updates in May about where we are now and how things are going. So it's not necessarily, this episode is going to jump in time for you. We're going to talk about where we are right now as of February 19th of recording this. And then you're going to hear all of us not together recording, but recording wherever we all are in the world. Just a quick 3 to 5 minute update about what we're doing and our energy now. So currently for Maggie on February 19th, I am feeling low. I feel like things are getting a little bit better and yet like worse at the same time. I don't know, but I'm feeling low. I'm feeling a little, not even a little, I'm downplaying it. I'm feeling extremely stagnant. I'm feeling very anxious. I'm not happy with my living situation. I'm looking for some more freedom. I'm looking to come back to myself and to protect my energy. And so hopefully in May, I'll have a little bit more clarity of where I'm going. Hopefully in May/June, I'll be feeling a bit freer, feeling more like myself. And hopefully I'll be flying out soon to be in Croatia with Sophie. So where are you right now?
Oh my god. As soon as you said that, I didn't know you were going to say it. I was like, yeah, yes, please. Thank you. When you're listening to this, we will be in Croatia. It's so funny because it's like February right now. But as of right now, on this day, as we record this, I have had a shit day. Like I have felt just really emotionally and physically like drained because I'm going through a lot of uncertainty myself and like having to make these like decisions of like, okay, like this new chapter wants to begin, but it's like making those decisions and taking those steps to like actually allow it to happen. And it's scary, and it's really inviting me to like step up and to trust in myself and to trust in the universe like on a deeper level. And I think it's just like it's big, like my nervous system is a little bit more, it's like becoming frozen at times because I'm like and that's like inviting me into like working with my nervous system a lot deeper and expanding my capacity to step into these bigger risks and step into these bigger leaps. So hopefully by June I will be in my new chapter, whatever that looks like, and I will have to made those decisions and took those steps and had manifested those those miracles, the opportunities, the support to make it all happen. Because as I speak right now, like it just all feels very uncertain. I'm kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where we're going to go. All I know is that I have to let go of things that I've been so used to for many, many years and step into this new chapter with just me and my business and my soul. And it's fucking scary, and it is bringing up a lot of fears. And yeah, so that's kind of like where we're at right now.
We got this, ladies. We've got this. And anyone listening to this right now, I feel like so many of us during February, honestly, ever since the new year, have been in a state of uncertainty, a lot of changes, a lot of things. But everything within me is telling me that the universe is asking us to be in a state of unattachment. It's like everything that we thought was going to be was like the rug was pulled out underneath us. And it's like, whoopsies, redirection, babe. You can't be attached to that because that's not where you're meant to go. Like, we're just kind of all in that state of what we thought was going to be is no longer, and we're kind of like having to embrace the free fall, which once again is scary because our humanness, our ego wants to attach to an identity for a sense of safety. But I feel like the spiritual path is choosing to trust in your inner being more than the fears of your ego. And that's what we're all being forced to do right now. So I just want to share you guys that if I wish you could see the Zoom recordings we do, because Carly in present moment just grabbed a cactus when she was stretching and got little cactus needles in her fingers. And little hack, if you ever get cactus needles in your fingers, brush them through your hair. Brush them through your hair. That's why I
talking about
this hack.
cactus.
No, I learned that because like in Mexican stores, my mom's from Mexico, and we'd always go to the Mexican grocery store, and I would grab on to nopales, which are cactuses that you eat, right? You like put them in like pans and you can fry them, you can cook them, and I would grab onto them in the store, and my mom would always yell at me, and then she would have to take my hand and brush it through my hair because it gets rid of the little needles in your
So
skin.
yes, this is where Carly's currently at,
So
and they're
this is
like,
what-
I was about to say, okay, so cactus lady, what are you going through?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, but anyways, so right now I am less than 2 weeks out from leaving for India. I am in a complete state of unattachment right now. I have no clue where the fuck I'm going. I have a lot of uncertainty in my life. And this past week before, I had a couple days where I just cried and cried and cried, not because of the fact that like it was because I was in this state of like freaking out. But after those 2 days of realizing that I'm not meant to be attached to anything, I experienced the state of bliss of just being like, I have nothing tied to my name. And that's kind of freeing. And I found myself in this place last year before backpacking for 4 months, and it became the most liberating free fall. So I realized that this year I was able to bounce back into that state of trust faster, and it just allowed me to remember that I'm going to be fine. So yeah, Carly right now has no clue where she's going to be when she returns back from her trips. She's open to receiving the mentors, the people, the experiences that will guide her to exactly what she needs to see. And I opened up the app. I highly recommend everyone downloads the Pattern. This app is super cool for understanding patterns that are happening inside your chart. And as of right now, I am in no patterns. Like I was in some really, really long ones for the past 2 years of like relationships transformed. And now, you guys, as of March 26th, there is a timing that will last 10 months called Growing Pains. There is one that begins May 25th called Radical Change. That will be 13-month long cycle. And then one that starts June 4th on my birthday of Adventure Unfolds. So all that Carly knows right now is she's got a lot of shifts happening, and the best thing she can do is remain unattached and trust her intuition and the universe. So that is my share and hack for if you get cactuses stuck in your hands or body.
I love that so much. I love it so much. Well, we're gonna play our little intro song music for the podcast, and on the other side, you're gonna be talking to us, but 4 months later.
Oh my God, stop. That's
So
crazy.
3 months later? I don't know.
I think at the beginning of 2024, I think it was, I was like, we're shifting into a state where we can't know what we're going to be doing in 6 months. Like all of us cannot know.
I have no idea. Are you kidding?
You have
I
no clue.
idea. I have no idea where I'm going to be in these next 3 months. So yeah, we'll see you in 3 months.
Am I right in saying that there's going to be an episode before this about like moving through uncertainty? So we're actually going to like dive deeper into this. So if you haven't already listened to that episode, it will be a few episodes back where we dive deeper into this field of the unknown, which all of us are stepping into together. So if you want to lean into that, and there's actually going to be 2 episodes around that. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. And I'm sure in July we'll be sharing even deeper because I think these are just going to be 5-minute shares each, like really quick, short shares of kind of the energy we're in right now. So make sure you come back in July because we will be diving a lot more, most likely, into the transformations we've seen over the next 4 months. But hopefully you enjoy it. And it's kind of surreal to sign off saying, all right, talk to you in
I know.
three
Why do
and
I
a
want
half
to cry?
months.
Why do I
It's
want
so
to cry? I feel like because we can't know what's going to happen. It's so
I
fun.
know.
I'm excited to listen
This
to
is
this.
gonna be me too. I cannot wait to
I feel
listen
like
to
we're
this.
about to, you're about to step into this portal, you know? Like,
Yeah.
as you listen to this intro, I want you to like just close your eyes and envision yourself going through this portal into like into the future.
So let's step into the portal. Hey, Cosmic Witches! Divine Gossip Girls here, your one and only source into the spiritual happenings of the cosmos. Ever wonder what this month's energy will have in store for you? What the planets and stars are even up to? Or if the universe can just help you catch a break already? Well, lucky you, because we have all the spiritual secrets to tell. You know you love us. XOXO, Divine Gossip Girls. Hi, Cosmic Witches. It's Maggie. Now, you would have just heard my recorded plan. I can't even remember what I said. Probably travel and having my visa and all of these things. But none of that happened. And I think this is a lesson for me to flow and trust. I think, I always say I'm trusting the universe, but I'm trusting the universe when taking a leap that I really want to take. And now this has been a leap that I didn't exactly want to take, but long story short, so you're not here for, half an hour. My visa got revoked and we had 30 days to leave, and it wasn't anything we did wrong, but it was just more of a thing with my partner's contract and something that they did wrong. And we had to rush back to Canada in a month with all our things. It's unlikely we will go back in time for his last. He only wanted to do one more year. My partner's a professional volleyball player. He only wanted to do one more year, but it's unlikely due to just bureaucratic processes that we will actually get back in time for him to do another year. So it's more likely that we're back in Canada, which is sad. And if I had recorded this any earlier, I would have been a lot more broken up about it. I'm still really sad about it, but that's all you can do. So now we're back in Canada. I'm excited because I was having visa issues. I was having issues with stuff like that. So now I can finally open my calendar for the first time since November, which is huge. And there's just so much that I want to do, so much I have planned. I'm excited and sad all at the same time. I know it was meant to be, and this is why I'm saying I'm trusting. Our flight home was it's 2 letters and 3 numbers. Our flight home was 111. And I've seen so many angel numbers. I've seen foxes everywhere, which is my sign. So I'm trusting. I really am trusting. Even when I was flying home, we were flying into Reykjavik, Iceland, and then we were flying into Boston and driving up with family because it was way cheaper. When I was on the flight, I was listening to an audiobook, and both Reykjavik and Boston were mentioned within the span of half an hour in this audiobook. And it's just little things like that you take from the universe and you listen to and you think, okay, I'm trusting that you're bringing me here for a reason. And one of the biggest reasons, of course, I loved Copenhagen. I loved the lifestyle. I loved living there so much, and I'm really going to miss it. But I'm trusting that one of the main reasons I loved living in Europe was because I could travel so much because it was so much cheaper. And I'm just trusting that those same opportunities will be given to me. Maybe I'm just meant to make enough money that those travels are still possible, just from much further away. I can afford now $700 plane tickets as easily as I can $30 plane tickets. I'm hoping that's the goal. I'm going to do some manifesting. I'm excited to do manifesting June with you guys so that I can start manifesting just this next chapter. I really just have to get clear on what it looks like, because I don't know, these past 3 weeks have been a whirlwind. This is the first day I've had to sit down, and I'm currently recording this on June 5th. So not far before this episode comes out. I have been a whirlwind. We were packing, doing all of our bucket list things to say goodbye to Copenhagen in case we don't live there again. I'm going to go back, but I may not live there again. And I was also, having to land here, so much travel. We only really settled 2 days ago. See everyone who wants to see us, everyone we want to see. Do all stuff like driver's license, health insurance, all this stuff to get all lined up for a life in Canada. So it's been a whirlwind. It's been unexpected, but I keep getting signs, and I trust, and I really hope this next chapter of my life is so beautiful. I had a rough year, as you would know if you've listened. And even listening to that, I'm sure I mentioned I had a rough year, because when I recorded that, I was really going through it. It got better by the end, but I was just in a horrible living situation, and my environment was really eating away at me. But I'm trusting that I was meant to, be here now for a reason, and I was getting led the whole time. So there's my life update. You'll hear Carly and Sophie's too, or maybe you've already heard them. I don't know what order we're doing these in, but just know that things always happen for a reason, and plans go differently. And I wasn't actively manifesting staying in Copenhagen like I was the year before. I didn't have the energy. I just was trusting the universe to do what I needed to do, because I could not handle that living situation anymore, and I barely had the energy to take care of myself, let alone manifest staying. So instead, the universe took the reins, and I was brought back here, and I'm trusting it's for a really beautiful and grander reason. So there's my update. If you want to know more, I'm going to have already posted. I'm taking a little break from my personal podcast, just because things have been so wild, so whirlwind, so crazy. And I'll have a full update there on what's been going on in my life. I'm just giving a little life update and plans for the podcast that I will be coming back in about a month for that one as well. But I have been doing that podcast for 2 years, and I want to refine the vision, and I want to give myself some grace with everything that's moving. So if you want a longer life update, go check that one out. Feel free. The Goddess Journals is my other podcast. It's going to be the extended version of this, but that's all I've got for you today. And yeah, I hope that everything's going well for you. And I hope that this shocking comparison shows you that just because you don't always get exactly what you want doesn't mean it's not where you're supposed to be. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Let's get manifesting.
Hello, welcome to June. Oh my goodness. We're not in June. We're in June? We're in May. We're at the end of May. But when you hear this, when this episode finally goes live, it will be June. And let's just say Maggie and I are not in Croatia. I am not travelling. And all of us have been on our own journeys of surrendering to fuck. Like, all of us have been really invited to surrender in bigger and deeper ways, and you'll probably hear from the girls and their own kind of updates as well. But I know that both of them will probably say something very similar, that all of us are not where we thought we would be when we recorded the intro of this. But for an update of where I am still in Scotland. I'm not travelling. I have actually got a cafe job. I am now working part-time as a supervisor in the cutest little cafe about 15-20 minutes from my home in this little historic town where I'm from. And obviously when we first recorded, the kind of plan was to leave my flat and to go travel Europe. And I realise now that I was really making those plans from a very dysregulated state, from a very dysregulated nervous system, and feeling like I had to move and I had to change and I had to up level and I had to get out there and I had to, like I'd been saying all these things, like I had to do it. But I feel like the universe was really inviting me to let go control. Like I was trying so hard to control where I'm going or how it's meant to happen, and just the only thing I have to hold on to is the vision and the trust that there's something bigger, there's a bigger and better plan out there. And now that I'm working in the cafe, yes, back in hospitality, it's like second nature for me. It's like riding a bike, and I'm actually really enjoying it. As much as it can be quite demanding and fast paced and tiring at times, it's actually been really nice to get out there and meet new people and do something different and go and travel for work as well and get back into like that energy, because obviously a lot of the work that I do is online. And I felt myself getting a little bit stagnant, even though I was collaborating with people all over the world. Like, I'm still in this one place, and I was really craving like deeper connection and expansion and change and a shift in the energy. And the universe brought it in how it was obviously meant to be brought in. And I feel like this past year has really been about surrender for me and releasing control, but holding on to that vision and that trust that there's a bigger plan out there for me, that I am meant to travel, that I am meant to be successful in my business, that I am meant to expand, but there's a path, there's a plan far greater than I know. So right now, I'm just pouring into my business, pouring into my content, pouring into my membership, pouring into my podcast. I'm really excited to get back recording with the girls for the Divine Gossip Girls podcast as well. I've missed them so and really just expanding my bank account, being back into this abundant energy, being so open to all the different ways that money can show up for me, that my business can start to expand, that I can expand further because I'm no longer holding on to control so tightly. I'm no longer in this dysregulated state, because back before, I was back in this pattern of putting so much pressure on myself and on my business to make a certain amount of income, to be traveling more, to be doing all these things. But in reality, I was just putting so much pressure and weight on myself, and that had to be lifted. So in order to lift that, I have released control, and I am stepping into a direction I never thought I would be. And yeah, we're just kind of seeing where we go from here. I am being invited to explore the potential idea of going to Australia and taking that bigger leap, that further leap to travel. So that may be something to play around with the universe. But right now we're just pouring into the different opportunities that I have, expanding my confidence, expanding my nervous system, expanding out of this lack that I fell into because of really hard times last year, a year and a half ago, and just continuing to expand my mind, expand my belief system, expand my energetic field so that we can really expand. We can really evolve. We can really start bringing this vision of travel and adventure and moving away into reality. But that's a little bit about the update of where I am. I'm super excited for the girls to be settled back in their homes, because we're all in places we never thought we thought we wouldn't be in. And yeah, here's to surrendering further, because I know that the month of June is all about manifestation, and surrendering is the biggest part, one of the biggest parts of manifestation. And I think all of us have been invited to embody that on a deeper level so that we can call forward the manifestations that are meant for us. But yeah, I can't wait to come back to the Divine Gossip Girls and start recording more and more. It feels like, obviously, for you guys, you've probably been listening for every single week, but we've not been recording for like 2 months because we batched all our episodes. And I'm like, I miss you girls, I gotta get back. But that's a little bit about where I'm at. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you soon.
Hi, loves. It's Carly, and I'm giving my little update. I'm not really sure how I was meant to intro this, but here I am. I don't know how many months later. Is this 4 months, 5 months after we recorded the previous segments, which is kind of strange because honestly, I don't even remember what I said, but I feel like a lot of this year so far has carried some similar things that I really began to awaken to at the start of the new year, all around like my identity shifting, just kind of entering into this state of unknown. And I recall before I left for India, at least, that I was starting to kind of feel this sense of untethering, this sense of the need to release, but not yet knowing what comes next. And surprise, surprise, that theme only kept going. And my time in India was so beautiful. I met some really, really incredible souls and mentors and gurus and teachings that just really impacted me. I think one of the most impactful things that I did there, on top of the yoga teacher training, which was phenomenal, and I feel so much gratitude for being able to deepen my practice, as I believe yoga is such an incredible tool and path to reaching that deeper level of harmony within the mind, body, and spirit, and peace, and just a sense of, more harmony and an ability to be able to shift blockages within the physical and energetic body and just gain more energy. So I'm really grateful to have learned that foundational part of yoga with the 200-hour teacher training. But I think something that impacted me just so deeply during my time in India was I actually ended up taking I did like a 3-day Tantra workshop where we really tapped into unconditional loving practices. And I learned so much through that experience, the power of the heart chakra, which is something that I've really began to work with over the past few years of going down a journey of self-love and learning how to speak to myself with compassion after so many years of struggling with an eating disorder, with a really, really loud perfectionist, an ego, an inner critic. And I kind of found that the course of this year, I was really struggling once again with a bit of self-love in a time where my life is transitioning, and I just don't really know what comes next. I don't really know what I'm called to do within my business, within the work that I do. But in all of this, I know that there is stuff, it's like brewing underneath the surface. I know that what I'm moving through right now is exactly what is like birthing the next chapter of my business. So I actually am going to continue to work with the one of the mentors that I met in India for some time. And that has kind of been what I've been called to do right now, just to really learn how to hold these shadows that are coming forward with a lot of love and these unconditional loving practices, and really learn how to turn on my own power and my own gifts to be able to hold more of that shadow, more of that the pain that is arising through, whether it's ancestral pain that is kind of arising that I feel within my body all of a sudden, or just these really deep, profound awarenesses that are coming to the surface. It's like a light bulb has gone off within my energy field, and I can just kind of see what's roaming around. And I've had to practice so much acceptance, which I realized such a key to letting go and releasing something isn't necessarily forcing yourself to let it go. It's through accepting it and validating it and expressing the emotions and then holding it with a lot of love. Because the way to release something isn't necessarily always through forcing it to leave, but through transmuting it into your power or to shifting its vibration into something that you are able to hold and love. So yeah, I've been learning a lot about all this stuff, and where I'm at right now is I've taken a little pause within my business. I'm focusing more on working with this beautiful crystal shop in my local area where I've begun to run some consistent meditation and Reiki circles in person. I am going to be hosting my first yoga class next Saturday there, and I did one actually online a few weeks back. I'm hoping to do another one as well. So for the time being, I'm taking a mini sabbatical from my business and just kind of taking a step away from socials to really allow myself to meet the version of myself that I'm becoming, and without force, listening to my energy that's asking me to slow down and kind of retract and quiet down and just like chill the fuck out so my energy can restore, everything can restore, and I can listen and hear the sound of my intuition and highest self coming forward. So that's where I'm at. It's been a wild ride so far this year. A lot of it has been internal. I mean, externally, I'm still kind of in the same position, but internally, it has been a fucking wild ride. So we're in this together. I love you guys so much. I know that this is just the beginning of some crazy, crazy up levels, and I can't wait to see where the rest of this year takes me. So sending you guys all lots of love, and we'll chat soon.